All right, peace.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you, TB. Feel free to call in. I got Eli, you on deck. You didn't mention Keith Thurman in that 4.
Because, out of sight, out of mind. It's been so long since I've seen Keith or heard anything from Keith.
Uh-huh.
I'm a firm believer in, and not saying Keith wouldn't fight because he fought all those guys too, except for Earl Spence.
Mm-hmm.
But the best got to fight the best in order to be deemed to be the best.
Mm-hmm.
You have to.
Mm-hmm. And Manny Pacquiao, is he in that list too, or is he just a circus act at this?
I wouldn't call Manny a circus
Not a
act.
circus act, but just trying to find a hole in the game.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him a circus act, but let's face it. Manny is not that 25-year-old, 18-year-old, fighter anymore. And definitely, I mean, he's still Manny Pacquiao.
Mm-hmm.
He's still a living legend.
Mm-hmm.
Manny is one of the type of guys that is going to bust the Hall of Fame wide open. He deserves it.
Absolutely.
But I'm talking about the here and the now.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And right now, those guys that I named, Bud, Earl, Sean, Danny, now you boy Keith up. Gotta throw Keith in there too. These are the guys, man. And with that said, since I'm throwing Keith in there, if I'm not mistaken, Manny beat Keith.
Yes, he sure did.
So yes, you do. You have to put Manny Pacquiao in that rotation also.
All right. 323. What's up? 323.
How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
I was checking out.
You got a bad connect.
Bad connect?
Yeah.
Okay, let me check out the Wi-Fi 1 second.
Okay, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll try it. Go ahead. We'll try it. No, can't hear. Who do you have winning? Earl Spence, Danny Garcia. Coach Barry?
Who I have winning the fight?
Yeah.
I think both guys have their own opportunity to win the fight. But in this case, you if you look at the odds and you look at the thing on the table, the pendulum might swing a little bit stronger on Earl's side.
Hello?
But you got to factor in the fact that Earl has been off, and you cannot overlook what he went through last year. So I'm gonna plead the fifth. I'm gonna plead the fifth this time.
831. I got you next, Eli. 831. What's up? When you guys call in, come in on mute till I call your area code. Okay, help me out real quick. 831. What's up?
Hey, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Just wanted to tell the coach, you got a more remarkable story with the Peterson brothers.
We're gonna get into that too. We're gonna get into that for sure.
Yeah, remarkable story.
Mm-hmm.
But my question is, when Danny loses this fight, because I don't think there's any way, with the focus that Earl Spence has right now, with the reach advantage, his ability to stay outside and control the distance, that he's going to be able to beat Earl. But when he loses this fight, do you think he's going to be relegated to more of a gatekeeper role if he remains at 147, for like guys like Boots Ennis and some of the other welterweights that are coming up?
He could very well. I think Danny. I don't think he'll be have the gatekeeper role yet, because I still think he got a lot of fight in him. I definitely think there's room for Danny to even move up, because these guys, these are big, big guys. These are big 147. So I definitely think there'll be other opportunities for him. And I won't say when he loses. If he loses. I think it'd be other opportunities for him. I definitely don't think his career will be over with.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Danny hasn't been that type of fighter that has sustained a lot of damage.
Right. All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Eli, you up? Eli, what's up?
Salute. Much respect, Coach Barry.
How you doing, brother?
Always enjoy. I'm doing good. I always enjoy seeing you in the corner putting in work.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
My question would be, looking at the landscape of the 147 division, as we talk about Manny Pacquiao, 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of deal, just because of where he is in his career right now, not taking anything away from his competitiveness.
Yes, sir.
If he if he is to be stripped of his belt because of inactivity or anything, and that belt is in the wind right now. If Sean Porter were to fight Crawford next as his mandatory, how do you see the landscape being shaken out with Errol having 2 belts, and is Errol going to be able to stick around before he goes to 154 that long if that belt is out in the wind and then this belt is over here? Can he fight those? Will he have enough time to get those belts together uh, at 147?
I think, well, of course, boxing, depending on who you are and who you connected with, all kinds of stuff can happen in boxing. I definitely think he has time, but again, when you get older, of course, the metabolism starts to slow. You don't burn much fat as fast as you normally would when you're 18, 19, 20 years old. Uh, I definitely think because one of the last time I saw him and we had a conversation, I laughed and I said, "Man, look like you grew," and he did look much bigger than he was, when he, of course, when he was young, a few years younger. Uh, I think that Earl has a chance. He's a very, very excellent fighter, but I think he has a shot at greatness if he stays focused, don't get caught up in a whole bunch of garbage, and stay on the path. I definitely think that he would be one of the ones to try to stick around to claim all the belts. That's what he's always wanted to do. Just clean out the whole division. I own everything. I'm the man, and then I think you'll see him move up.
Okay, my next question would be, one of the things that we've been hearing now is looking at Errol as he's cutting and making weight right now. You have some people that are saying we saw what he looked like in his media workout, and seeing him now, some people are making reference to his neck looks skinnier now. He looks leaner in the neck right now. You got Angel Garcia saying he sees something. He looking into his soul, quote unquote. You know, do you look? Can you look at a fighter and tell that? And can you look at Earl right now? And do you see anything that makes you say, I don't know, he don't look so right now?
Well, yes, you can look at a fighter for the more experienced trainers and coaches and teachers, of boxing. You can look at a person and see if they're emaciated. You can look at them in their eyes. You can look lean and you can look hard and what have you. But if you look someone in their eyes, a lot of times, and I know you probably seen it before, you see these guys, they muscular, look good body wise, but look them in their face, or their face look drawn in, or their eyes look real dim or not as bright as they normally are. That's telling you right there. And when I see something like that there, the first thing I want to do is fight an up-tempo fight the first half of the fight. Because I know that for the most part, yes, you look good, but your body may not have enough fat to draw energy from to give you enough to push through hard grounds like that. And so, yes, you can look at somebody and pretty much tell if that type of fight or that energy is going to be there. It's the same thing like the corner. A lot of times when we're in the fights, you look at the corner. If the corner is desperate, if you look at the fighter, if his head is low or slumped down, all these are signs. Pick it up. They're about to break. You never want to show.
Yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Last question. Okay, looking at everything right now, and as you being a trainer and you being working with Larry Wade, this is something that's come up more often than not. Errol hasn't been working with Blu-ray. Errol hasn't been working with Blu-ray. You as a trainer, how do you feel about a conditioner,
Okay.
a strength conditioner coach being right there next to you? How do you feel about that in boxing right now?
Well, if you go back in the day, you think about uh, people like Ray Leonard. I'm gonna call some guys from the area. Ray Leonard, Simon Brown. You know, some of these legendary fighters that we had in the DC area alone. At one point in time, there was no even mention of a strengthening and conditioning coach. Your coach did everything. And they did it in a real simple manner. Push-ups, set-ups, jumping jacks, road work, you know, your bag work, your sparring, uh, jump rope, speed. It was real simple. But if you go back in time, when fights used to be 15 rounds with smaller gloves, horsehair gloves on, these dudes was conditioned and they banged out a lot of them from 1 through 15 without all the special vitamins, strength and no knock against, of course things evolved and people change and you're bringing new things into your sport. I get that, but for the most part, if you find yourself in a situation where maybe you don't have the same strength and conditioning coach, or maybe you didn't feel as though this was working for you. Sometimes you gotta go back to the roots, man. Go back to the beginning, and it worked just as fine. Trust and believe that.
I appreciate your time, Fred. I appreciate you allowing me to come on your platform and ask
Always,
my questions and entertain my thoughts. Thank you
always
very much. Nothing but
appreciate it.
respect.
Thank you.
202. What's up?